contributes in that area.
Fair enough. I thought I said one thing. Yeshi, go ahead.
This is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. What's the update on the former naval officers that have been under detention? Have any charges been framed yet?
Who else, madam? Please.
सर मैं कविता जोशी हूँ हरिभूमि न्यूज़पेपर से। सर मेरा सवाल ये है कि जो चीन, अमेरिका और यूरोप के देशों में जो कोविड-19 के केसेस लगातार बढ़ रहे हैं, उसको लेकर के क्या हमने स्पेशली चाइना को लेकर कोई एडवाइजरी जारी की है? MEA ने जो हमारे भारतीय छात्र वहाँ पर हैं या जो भारतीय नागरिक रह रहे हैं, उनकी सुरक्षा को लेकर के फ्लाइट्स के बारे में आपको कोई जानकारी है क्या? भारत और चीन के बीच में रोकी जानी है?
दो कुछ बोले, एक एडवाइजरी वहाँ पे और दूसरी फ्लाइट्स के बारे में कुछ। Yeah, somebody else had a hand up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So while you've spoken about the
Introduce yourself for the record, ma'am, please.
Sorry, Maha.
I know you.
Sir, while you've spoken about the Corps Commander level talks for the western sector, there's been an incident in the eastern sector also, as far as Arunachal Pradesh, the Tawang sector is concerned. Has there been any diplomatic outreach as well to speak about that issue?
You are referring to the incident that happened a few years ago?
In Tawang.
Okay, fair enough. And there was one more hand I saw before. I'll come to that. Somebody here had a hand. Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Hasani, go ahead.
Referring to a report.
Record for the record.
Sorry, this is Suhasini Heather from the Urdu. Referring to a report in newspapers today regarding an MOU between the Uttar Pradesh government and a purported university in the United States that turns out to have lost its recognition. The question really was the consulate in Houston apprised by the UP government that this MOU was going to be signed for an alleged $42 billion and whether there was any due diligence done by the consulate on this.
Okay. I'll come around for the next round of questions. Siddhant, let me start off with your query. This was on the recent reports there. Look, we have noted with concern the reports in this regard. India has consistently supported the cause of female education, women's education in Afghanistan. We have emphasized, and we've been emphasizing, the importance of the establishment of an inclusive and representative government that respects the rights of Afghans and ensures the equal rights of women and girls to participate in all aspects of Afghan society, including access to higher education. I would also like to recall a UN Council Resolution 2593, which reaffirms the importance of upholding human rights, including those of women, and that resolution also for full, equal and meaningful participation of women. I think my answer would also cover your other query related to, you mentioned execution in the context of human rights and what 2593 are other statements that we have been making as well as part of other groupings have issued declarations. Yeshi, on the issue of 8 Indians who have been in Qatar, we have been responding on this off and on, depending on the question. I don't have a particular update this week. We remain seized of the matter. I know our embassy, I spoke to them, is actively pursuing the case. As I mentioned, I think last time, the detained Indians are able to speak to their families on a regular basis, I understand. And some of the families who are staying in Doha are being allowed to have physical meetings too. We will continue to extend all possible consular assistance. We are in touch with the families. We are also pushing for further consular access to those individuals. But beyond that, I don't have anything to add except to say that yes, this is a case that we are following closely and pursuing. कविता जी, आपने जिक्र किया फ्लाइट्स. देखिए, पहले फ्लाइट्स के बारे में ये आपको कोई स्पेसिफिक दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से पूछना पड़ेगा. इस पे चर्चा हो रही है. हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री नॉर्मली या सिविल एविएशन ये इस पे लीड एजेंसीज हैं. हमारे तरफ अभी कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है. जैसा आप जानते हैं, डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स तो है नहीं और इनडायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स पे ऐसी कोई मेरे पास जानकारी नहीं है कि कोई हमें कोई स्पेशल अनाउंसमेंट है. मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहूँगा कि चाइना की जो स्थिति है वहाँ कोविड के वहाँ पे हम उस पर नज़र बनाए हुए हैं. हमने पहले भी कहा था कि हमारी उम्मीद ये है कि पूरी मानवता कोविड महामारी के पूर्ण रूप से उभरकर सक्षम रूप से ऊपर कर निकले. और हमने हमेशा हमारी तरफ से फार्मेसी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड के रूप में हमने मदद की है दूसरे देशों को. और में जो हो रहा है, मैंने जैसे कहा, हम करीब से नजर बनाए हुए हैं, और ट्रैवल रेगुलेशंस में अगर कोई अपडेट हो बताएंगे। एडवाइजरी की भी हमारी तरफ से भी कोई ऐसी जारी नहीं हुई है। हमारी अपेक्षा यही रही कि जो भी कोई रहता है किसी देश में, वहाँ के हेल्थ गाइडलाइंस जो भी हो उनको वो पूरी तरह मानकर चले। जैसे हमारे देश में जो फॉरेनर्स है वो हमारे हेल्थ गाइडलाइंस फॉलो करते हैं, इसी तरह दूसरे देशों में जब लोग रहते हैं उनकी जो लोकल हेल्थ गाइडलाइंस है, जो फॉरेनर्स वहाँ रहते हैं इंडियन, वो उसको फॉलो करेंगे, बट कोई स्पेसिफिक गाइडलाइन इशू नहीं किया है हमने। Moving on to your core command. Look, if you're talking about the incident at Tawang, I think Raksha Mantri ji made a detailed statement in both House of Parliament, and with Parliament in session, it would not be appropriate to say anything beyond that. I don't have any further information to share. So, Hasini, you mentioned MOU. Look, we've seen reports. To be honest, let me just give you a sense of this. Different states do make trips abroad to promote investment and other activities through their states. They do sign MOUs, and these are done directly by the states. Our embassies and consulate, and whatever necessary assistance is required. I don't have anything particular on this MOU or this visit. Yes, our consulate, of course, extended assistance to the delegation, but the MOUs for that, you will have to ask the state government. They would have a better fix on that. I'm not even sure the query regarding, you said due diligence. I'm not sure, it's not our MOU, so I would refer you to the state government. I think they may already made some statements, and I would refer you to that. Yeah, second round of questions. Okay, one second. Sorry, Afghanistan पे आप मैंने जो अभी तालिबान इशू पे, अच्छा, ओके। देखिए, इसमें जो हमने रिपोर्ट देखी हैं उनको हम कंसर्न के साथ नोट करते हैं। भारत ने अफगानिस्तान में महिला शिक्षा के मुद्दे को लगातार समर्थन किया है। हमने एक समावेशी और प्रतिनिधि सरकार का स्थापना जोर दिया है, जो सभी अफगानों को अधिकारों का सम्मान करती है और उच्च शिक्षा तक एक्सेस सहित अफगान समाज के सभी पहलुओं में भाग लेने के लिए महिलाओं और लड़कियों के समान अधिकारों का सुनिश्चित करती है। इसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जो संयुक्त राष्ट्र सुरक्षा परिषद के प्रस्ताव 2023 का भी याद करूंगा, जो महिलाओं और मानव अधिकारों के महत्व की पुष्टि करता है और महिलाओं की पूर्ण, समान और सार्थक भागीदारी का भी आह्वान करता है। Somebody had a related, no, okay, go ahead. No, before that, please. Srinjay?
Sir, this is on the Tawang situation. You did say that RM has spoken, but it appears that the Chinese have been coming here earlier as well. They came on the 28th of September last year. So is there any understanding on why this particular area is being targeted? And can I ask a question as opposed? There have been reports of the Saudi government saying that for examinations at least, and maybe other cases, they need the students, female students should wear the uniform and not the abaya or any other kind of covering. Could you give us some understanding about what the Indian government has to say about it, or what the facts are in this case?
Okay. What a question? Sorry. I'll come back. Who had a question? You had? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hi, Pia from the print. Has the MEA received a request from UPCM Yogi Adityanath for political clearance to visit the US?
Sorry. Specific to visit the US?
Yes.
From UPCM?
Yes.
Okay. There was Madhuri. I'll come.
सर, मधुरेंद्र मैं न्यूज नेशन से। ईरान ने स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के लिए भारत को ऑफर दिया है, इस पर MEA का क्या रिएक्शन है? ईरान ने स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के लिए भारत को ऑफर दिया है, ऐसी खबरें मीडिया में हैं। इस पर इंडिया क्या स्टैंड है, आपका क्या कहना है?
Okay. Strategic partnership ka. Okay. Sorry, who was that? Somebody there, yeah.
Brother from Hindustan Times. I wanted to follow up. I wanted to ask a follow-up question on Afghanistan. There is mounting evidence that LET and JEM cadres are now in Afghanistan. This is something that we have raised at the UNSC. Does India have any plans to work with its international partners on this issue? Number two, there is also...
Which issue, sorry?
On the issue of LET, JEM cadres being in Afghanistan. Number two, there are a lot of concerns about how, there could possibly be the misuse of any funds that are now provided to the Taliban for humanitarian work or any other reasons from the frozen assets. Is it concerned about...
In what context is it concerned? I didn't understand.
Who
is
the Taliban are requesting for the funds to be given to them, but the funding, the channels are not open, the official channels are not open. Do we have concerns about the possible misuse of any of these funds?
Okay. Somebody else? Go ahead. I'll come. Microphone. If you could keep mobiles on silent.
So there's a little query about the talks with China.
To introduce yourself for record, otherwise poor transcript.
So this is Manas Pratim Bhuyan from PTI. It's a little query about the China-India talks, 7th round talks. As the talks took place just 11 days after the Tawang incident, was the issue actually flagged by Indian team during the talks, the Tawang incident?
In the talks?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me try to answer this round of question. I'll come back to, I think, a few more hands. Look, I understand there are a couple of questions on Tawang too, maybe three. As I said, I think Raksha Mantri ji made a statement. I don't have anything further to add. If you're looking at why the military, specifically Shinja, you asked why here, has it happened in the past? Yes, there have been incidents, locations where in the past where we have, stood firm, as you're aware of that, and we've been emphasizing that our soldiers will stand firm to guard our frontier. So I don't want to say anything beyond that because I think clarity has been issued, and if you want to look from a military perspective, I would refer you to the MOD. I'm not going to speculate here on which specific locations. Because the Saudi government, I don't know how that's a foreign policy issue, so I'm not going to be able to comment on that. Our embassy has not received any formal communication in this regard from the Saudi authorities. You've seen some media reports, but I don't want to get into that. Manas, in the similar perspective, look, this is all that we have to say. Sorry, where did Manas go? Sorry. This is all that we have to say for the moment. The talks on the 20th. We can all speculate, but since I don't have a confirmation, I am not going to be able to confirm that. We did talk about, that was more, to be honest, about the Western sector. So if it has not been, I wouldn't be surprised. But let me not make a comment either way. I'm not aware of the details. Pia, I wouldn't have an offhand comment. I don't keep a track of all political clearance requests that come. I have to check. I also am not sure whether I am in a position to be able to tell you as a matter of policy whether who all applied at which point. So I may not be able to come back with anything to share. If there is something specific that you're looking for, I can try to find out, but otherwise I don't have any information on that. Madhurendra ji, अगर हमारे पास कोई ऐसे द्विपक्षीय कम्युनिकेशन के बारे में कुछ कहने के लिए होता है तो मैं जरूर बताऊंगा. अभी मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है कहने के लिए कि उन्होंने ऑफर किया या क्या कहा है और हमारी क्या इस पे रिस्पांस है. Reza, on your comments or rather questions on two aspects, I think the issue of working with international partners against terrorism is something that you would have seen we have been putting a lot of emphasis on. Let me draw attention to, we organized a counter here in Delhi, preceded by a meeting, informal briefing in Mumbai. We had discussions on money for terror. We had highlighted as one of the signature events in our presidency of the UN on terrorism. So clearly we are interested in working with the international community against terrorism from wherever it emanates. So I think that goes without saying. Insofar specifically as Afghanistan is concerned, I would refer to Resolution 2593, which has a pretty strong language on what the expectations of the international community is vis-a-vis terrorism emanating from Afghanistan. As regards funds to Taliban, I don't know a specific response to that because I'm not sure what concerns you are referring to, but if you've been following the developments in the United Nations Security Council, a few days ago there was a resolution regarding access to funds for humanitarian purposes, and while in principle that's something that we work with and report. There were certain concerns that we had, and accordingly we abstained on that resolution. Clearly, we do believe that there are possibilities of misuse of such opportunities, and hence our position on that resolution. So let me limit myself to that. Okay, who had a few more set of questions? Once again, please start. Michelle.
Hi sir, Abhishek here from CNN News 18. My question is regarding recent unrest happening in Pacific Island, Fiji. There have been reports of people of Indian descendants being targeted. How are you looking at the situation? Has there been any advisory for Indians living in Fiji or anything?
Indians living in Fiji, right?
And also the people of Indian origin.
We are not going to give them advisory.
Of course, you are not.
Just clarifying that issue before you start. Okay. Just go ahead.
So, Sridhar.
Sridhar, go ahead.
Sridhar from the Asian Age. There are 200 meetings as announced scheduled for the G20 in the run-up to the summit. Given this current COVID scare, is there a move to make it virtual mode, or will it affect the physical attendance at these meetings? And secondly, are you, staying with the same subject, are you also gearing up for sort of an evacuation operation like we saw in 2020? Because you have China, Japan, South Korea, US, all these countries.
Sorry. I'm not going to accept loose questions. What evacuation operation from where?
Of Indian, are you gearing up? I'm saying
from both countries.
Correct. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed you last time. I'll come back.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Shashank Matu from the Mint. So the CAG released its report, audit report of the Ministry of External Affairs 2 days ago. It alleged it pointed out that there were that caused the exchequer a loss of around 58 crores because of the misapplying of OCI fees. The Ministry of External Affairs said it was a loss. The CAG did not accept that submission. Could you consider a sense of what the ministry's position is on this mischarging of fees?
Okay. Nanima, and then I'll go to the last one.
Nanima from ABP Live. Just wanted to understand, it's been 6 months since we opened the embassy, our mission in Kabul. What exactly has been done so far? Have we resumed some of the stalled projects? In terms of humanitarian aid, what is it that is going on? If you can give us some update. Thanks a lot.
Hi sir, Akshay Dhogre from India Today. I have two questions, sir. There is an investigation done by India Today that shows that Jaish-e-Mohammed, after Pakistan has got out of the grey list of FATFs, they have started to raise more funds in the name of building mosques in Pakistan. So is MEA keeping an eye on that? Second is about Charles Shobraj, since he has been freed.
We normally have one question, but I'm noticing a lot more who's coming in.
Charles Shobraj, now that he has been freed, are we seeking a custody of Charles Shobraj, given the fact that he has fled from Indian jails as well?
Okay, I'm not sure how to answer that one. Any others? I'll close with this. Okay, look, Abhishek, I wasn't clear with your question. Of course, as you know, Fiji has, I think, concluded or going through the process of election, and we look forward to the formation of government and working with the new government there. Yes, I'm aware of it. As regards developments in that country, our High Commission there, of course, is keeping a close eye on the developments. We are also monitoring developments that happen. I haven't heard anything against Indians, so Indian citizens. Certainly, we haven't issued any advisory as far as I'm aware. But as regards Fijian nationals, if there is anything particular to add, I will come back to you on that. As I said, we are closely monitoring developments there. I don't have an immediate comment on it for the moment, but yes, we are in touch with the High Commission. Sridhar, on your question, there are more than 200 odd meetings that we have planned. Some of them already taken place during December. Our expectation and our objective is to have these meetings in physical format. Whether as and when we have to change these guidelines, this plan, let you know. For the moment, we do plan to have these meetings in physical format. So that's what I would say. On the evacuation, I'm not sure if that's a concern or these Indians there want to come back. I think flights are operating normally from most of these countries, except China, where we don't have direct flights, but there are other ways to come. Those who wish to come back can come back. I haven't heard any requirement even of trying to bring people back or a situation of COVID required. We'll see how the developments go. It's been recent developments. I don't have anything to share on that. Before I come to Shashank, Nanima, I wouldn't have an immediate response on that simply because, as I've been emphasizing, this is a technical team with a task largely and focused on humanitarian assistance that we provide to the people of Afghanistan. I know this issue of discussion of whether projects have resumed have come up earlier. I am not aware of any particular new project or anything that has started, but in humanitarian assistance that we continue to extend to the people of Afghanistan, yes, our team is involved in that. I don't have a ready reckoner for the last 6 months what we have done, but I've not. I'll ask my colleagues if there's something they have to share. I'll come back to you at some point. Sorry, you have anything particular on this? Microphone.
So, Hasni, again, the Taliban statement on the mission in Kabul actually names the head of the Indian mission, Mr. Bharat Kumar, and calls him the charge d'affaires. Is that technically wrong?
As I said, I am not going to comment on other people commenting how they designate our people. It's a technical team, and he's the head of technical team. So, from our perspective, coming back to Dogre, you had asked regarding. Look, I don't have specific information on such operational issues. We have, of course, been emphasizing the importance of ensuring that Pakistan's cross-border terrorism is stopped, that it does not, and you will see in our recent statement in that regard. If organizations that you named are trying to do that, and I don't think it's a new development, yes, I would expect that the international community will continue with its efforts to stop such things. We certainly monitor and take steps to ensure that terrorism, we are protected from that. On the Charles Chopra, I don't think it's a foreign policy issue. There is some legal proceedings against him underway, then our other agents, particularly affairs, I guess, would know. I'm not aware, nor do I wish to make a comment on it. Shashank, you referred to the CAG report. This is a routine, as you know, we, like most other government departments, are subject to audit, including from the CAG, but we have other levels of audit. And on a regular basis, audit is carried out at various stages, at various levels of both our missions abroad as well as our Ministry of External Affairs. As part of these, there are audit observations, and which some of them come as audit paras and subsequently audit paragraphs of the CAG. And these are taken in Parliament when the CAG feels that it requires it to do so. That's its mandate under the Constitution. This is now a property of the Parliament, and I certainly would like to explain further and let this be as part of the parliamentary process. Our comments on it are as part of having anything additional to say to that, and there is a process in which these are handled, and we will certainly take forward what the guidance from the Parliament is. Thank you very much. You have more questions? No, I thought we had the last one. No, you're second. I'll take his.
सर शलंद्र न्यूज 18 से एक तरफ तो लगातार हम देख रहे हैं कोर कमांडर लेवल की टॉक्स होती रहती हैं, आपने मतलब भी बताया 17वें दौर की भी लास्ट मीटिंग हुई थी, एक और मैकेनिज्म था जो 2003 में शुरू किया गया था एसआर लेवल टॉक्स का, आखिरी मीटिंग 2019 में हुई है, क्या ये डिफंक्ट हो चुका है? क्योंकि क्वेश्चन जो बॉर्डर का है वो इस लेवल पर एड्रेस होने वाला है, तो वो टॉक्स क्यों नहीं हो रही? क्या उसके लिए दोनों एनएसएस टच में है, दोनों जो एसआर लेवल के जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं टच में है या नहीं है? अगली मीटिंग कब होगी? इस बारे में कुछ
मैं 4 क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, बट एनीवे मैं आपको who else had a question? You had Abhishek before. Yeah, please go ahead.
Manish Chand, on the China COVID issue, have we taken up with China? Has there been any discussion? Has there been any official update on this at all? Number 2 on the... No,
this is not a multiple round question.
No, just one more. Just a brief question. This is on Tawang issue. Have you been in touch with the US on the Tawang incursions at all?
China COVID, you asked, no? No, hold on. Oh, hold on. Somebody has a question here. You had a second round of questions, all of you. I think we'll put a stop. Is there something related to this? What is that?
So my question is like only few days are left in this year. So will India-Russia summit talk is officially cancelled?
Cancelled?
I mean, is that going to happen or not?
Okay. And you had something else to add? No, I'm not getting around it. Everybody has second thoughts. Something related, interesting, immediate? Go ahead, quickly.
Sir, we saw the comments by the Pakistani Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto. Do you think after those comments it will be much difficult for India-Pakistan conversations to happen? There are no conversations already.
तो आप देख रहे थे विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता और अरिंदम बागची जो कि प्रवक्ता है विदेश मंत्रालय की, वो इसको ब्रीफ कर रहे थे। उन्होंने साफ तौर पर कुछ मुद्दों पर भारत का रुख रखा। उन्होंने कहा कि अफगानिस्तान में महिलाओं की शिक्षा पर रोक लगाना, उस पर पाबंदी लगाना पूरी तरह से गलत है।